So the subject of today's video is my 1983 Honda ATC 70 with a Piranha 140 or a YX 140 4-speed manual gearbox motor in it. So I did a restoration on this thing about probably 2.5, 3 years ago now. You know, completely stripped it down, redid it all, same as what I'm doing with the Super Cub project, and the same as what I did with my XL. See, there's a bit of dust on this here because it just sits most of the time. But last year I had an issue with this where when shifting into first gear and then letting the clutch out, or I guess even just shifting into first gear with the clutch in, the bike would cut out, and it's because the clutch cable wasn't properly adjusted. And so you see right now I'm in first gear. If I pull in the clutch, it's doing the same thing again. It's still engaged in gear. So what I think is after happened is the clutch cable's after stretching on me. We're going to test that out now shortly to see if that's actually the case, or if we're going to take the side clutch cover off and have a closer look. I'm noticing that there's probably about a centimeter left of barrel into the clutch lever here. So I'm going to first adjust that out and see if that gives us any results. Just to see if that's a little bit of adjustment will do it, and if not, then we may have to look at doing further adjustment down there. So we've got the bike in first gear now. Let the clutch go, kind of push it, and it brings up. So now I'll go ahead and I'll make an adjustment here. Nope, still. So now you see it's at the point where the clutch is actually slipping all the time. So it's in first gear right now. Put back down to neutral. So you roll nice and easy. Put it in first. And it's still slightly bringing up there. So I'm going to adjust it back in a little tiny bit. Nope. Clutch in, it's free. Letting the clutch go. There's a bit of catch, but not enough, so the bike would just sit there and roast the clutch right now. There we go. Engage the clutch, and it's still just slightly. So I'm going to adjust a little tiny touch outward. So we're in gear engaged. Pull the clutch in. Still doesn't feel like it's right in neutral. Like that's nice and easy there in neutral. Let's start the bike up and give it a check, see how it feels. For those of you who haven't seen it, I built a custom hinge for this seat. You can see that in my other videos. I'll probably just link that here actually as well, so you can see it and link it in the description. It allows me to actually get it to kickstart a lot easier than having to pull plastics on and off to get them kicked over. Ideally, I'd have an original motor in this, but when I bought it, it didn't come with one. Anyways, make sure we're neutral. Oh, here we go. hear the exhaust is pretty loud on her. I'll put the seat back down, give it a couple revs, and then we'll see if we can take it around the yard for a little scoot. So as you can see, and very likely hear, this little ATC 70 with the YX140 motor in it, this thing has 16 horsepower at the flywheel, is quite a little Hooning. And through all that stuff, I mean, I barely blipping the throttle. I can't put it full throttle as I'll kill myself. It's a bit of a hot rod. It's a bit crazy. Wouldn't recommend it for the children that these were aged for when they were made. They're almost 40 years ago. So anyways, hopefully you enjoyed me hooning around the backyard there. I had to give it up because the grass was starting to get pretty shredded up, where this is a fixed axle in the back. But anyway, so I'm going to bring you guys a little bit of content this week, as I'm just waiting on that paint that I put down on the C70 to finish curing up. So as you can see right now, the C70 is actually over here in the corner on the motorcycle lift behind the XL125. So next up for that this week, we're probably going to start doing things like getting the forks installed, getting the handlebars and all that set up, cleaning up the gauge cluster and whatnot, getting that installed. Start looking at running some wires, running the wire harness through the chassis and whatnot. And then we're going to start buying some parts. So we need all new plastics, as the you can see there, the front fender plastic is busted up. The side plastics up here, these got this real cracked, grainy finish to them, and it's just because they're so old. So looking at all the plastics I need, I'm looking at having to order about $300 or $400 worth of plastics. And then further to that, then we're looking at ordering stuff like our brakes, maybe a new throttle cable, brake cables, your run-of-the-mill stuff. The big one is going to be trying to track down a proper muffler for this thing. So I have seen them on eBay. That one is shot, and you can see that in one of the first videos when I take it off. We look at it, there's just holes in it everywhere. So if we can't find something on eBay, then we'll have to make do with what we got and probably try to patch it up and fix it. But hopefully we can find something used on eBay that's fit. But either way, once again, I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.